Hello, gorgeous, savvy women leaders. Well, there is an astrological new year that has commenced this week. I wonder if anybody's aware of that. And the astrological new year is about renewal, it's about refreshing, and it's about regenerating. I'm Chris Piccone. I work with mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausted women execs to help them unravel the complexities of their life and to realize their authentic voice and claim their true worth. So what's happening right now for us is there is a universal shift that's happening. And I don't just mean with this whole conformity around social distancing and all of those things. I mean there is a universal shift that's happening for us that is an energetic call for women in leadership to be more of their authentic selves and bring more of their authentic selves to their leadership style. So what I'm watching at the moment is that there is a lot of commotion, if you like, around people scrambling and some fear and scarcity and lack that's coming through. And what I want to share with you is that there are three types of leaders who will respond or react in this particular situation. So let's look at those. So the first leader is someone who has completely dropped their rules, roles, and rituals. So this is someone who is mentally, physically, and emotionally buying into the energy of what's going on around them at the moment. And some of the mental mind chatter that they might be experiencing is things like, we didn't plan for this. We have no idea how to deal with this. I'm not sure how to lead my people through this. And I had a conversation with someone earlier this week about that. I'm just not sure, Chris, what my people need from me most right now. And I really empathize with leaders in this particular situation and who are experiencing this sort of mind chatter. And the reason for that is it is challenging to manage your own state at this time, as well as managing the state of other people. So these people are really buying into that patriarchal style of business, doing business, which is buying into that fear, that fight, flight, or freeze response. And it's really a style of thinking that we've brought into the workplace through things like military style metaphors about winning and crushing it and being on the front line and making the hard decisions and all of that sort of language that really shapes our mentality around our leadership style. Okay. Then there's the second type of leader who's really trying so hard to stay grounded and is really conscious of being positive for her people and really is in this barrage of dealing with what might be happening at the executive table, and then also dealing with the fears and concerns of her people and really working hard to be that positive influence and really presenting that strong positive face for her people. There's some uncertainty around her, however, and there's some energetic confusion, if you like, that people are picking up on. So that's the second type of leader. And then there's the third type of leader, which is my favorite type of leader, who's really stepped up in this moment and who's left all that shiz of scarcity and fear and lack behind and is really up-leveled and is working to encourage her people to shine their light and to up-level as well. So it's not just about the positive language and, really geeing up the team to be the best that they can be whilst they're working remotely. It is how she carries herself in her presence. It is the leader who steps into her confidence unapologetically. It is that woman who is very grounded in knowing that as the queen, she will do her very best to protect her land and her people. So there's a style of archetype that's coming out in these leaders that is very much about, it is about a power and an influence and an energy that is really telling people, without her having to say it, that she's in control and that everything will be fine and that her queendom will be protected. So I'm really conscious that there is a lot going on for people at the moment, but here are 3 simple things that you can do, because what I notice of that first style of leader, the one who is really buying into that mind chatter, is that if anything else, they've let go of their rules, roles, and rituals. And I really don't want that to be the case for my community. My intention for my community is for you to stay grounded in your own presence and to be able to up level at a time that shows everyone in your circle of influence that there is no doubt that you're in the right position of leadership. Okay, so here are 3 things that you can do for yourself right now. The first is, what are the tools and resources that you can implement right now that will really benefit your team, that will really help your team to stay connected, to feel grounded themselves, and to understand energetically about you that you are absolutely here for them. So think of all of those coaching skills, and for the women leaders in my community, I am 100% confident that you have got this down pat, that you absolutely can implement right now more so than ever all of those great coaching skills that you've got in your toolkit. So what sort of skills do you have that you can impart with your people? What can you implement right now? You know, that appreciative inquiry, that coaching style, that collaborative nature where you're bringing people together through your innate mother nature sense, that archetype of being a nurturer and allowing people to feel free to explore their own space as well as that of the group. So start to really tap into those skills and those tools and those methodologies that you have that will really allow people to shine also, okay? The second thing that I'd love for you to do is go back to your daily, weekly and monthly rules, roles and rituals. If you've dropped going for a run, or doing an exercise routine, or doing your morning ritual of meditation, if you've dropped the hair and makeup when you would normally present to people with hair and makeup in the workplace, then reinstate all of those daily rules, roles and rituals that ensure that your level of confidence, innate level of confidence during this time, will remain stable, unstoppable. Okay, so that's the second thing I encourage you to do. The first thing is, what tools and strategies and methodologies do you have available to you that you've learnt along the way that you can bring back and shine a light on? Secondly, what are your daily, weekly and monthly rules, roles and rituals that will be really beneficial for you right now to maintain the right mental state? And then the third thing is, think about how you can allow your team the space to collaborate differently. I've been on a couple of webinars at the moment because I'm finding this a really great time to do some online learning. So I've been on a couple of webinars this morning, and I was on one Wednesday night in our time that really talk about collaboration tools. And I want you to think about, how can you allow your team to feel more connected and to feel more collaborative right now? How can you look at some tools that will allow people to share ideas? So there's things like ideas boards with a Z is one platform. Things like Trello, things like Zoom. Everybody's using Zoom at the moment. You'd love to have shares in that right now. But look at the different ways that you can. Mural is another one. All of these different platforms that will allow your people to come together and collaborate and really step into that nurturing style of yours. Step into that way that you are able to naturally and innately bring people together for great outcomes. And just watch how your team start to respond to that. Watch for the signals, both the verbal and the non-verbal signals, as to how they're responding differently to you implementing those 3 things that will really help them to up level as well and step into their greatest light to shine. So I'm really curious to hear how this goes for you. I would love to hear what your strategies and tools are. So pop something in the comments box below. As I mentioned, I'm doing a lot of learning, online learning at the moment, and I think it's a great way for other people to do that as well. So, you know, really curious to hear about how can you implement these strategies, these skills, all of this knowledge that you have that will really allow your team to shine right now. I'm Chris Piccone. I look forward to bringing you more next week. In the meantime, please do comment in the box below. I would love to hear your thoughts. See you later.